room? Probably not.
Here, come over on this side. I don't know why he goes on the opponent side. Tape, videotape. They just think that.
I mean, like, is there two
But this
people
is like Manton's side.
Yeah.
You know, you should be over on the McDane side. I don't think they're getting tape the volume. I'm not being rude. I'm just saying. If it was me, I would be on the. I'll sit down in a minute. Are you
In the parking lot, a Jeep Liberty. A Jeep Liberty vehicle, license plate EBY 7689. EBY 7689, your security alarm is going off. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's homecoming varsity boys basketball game between the Rangers of Manton High School and the Riddlers of Big Bay High School.
and welcome to the start of the homecoming boys varsity basketball game against Manton. Sorry. We are just getting done with the national anthem and waiting for player intros. I'm Kyle Culp, joined with Tucker Vandervelde.
It's good to be here tonight. Both teams 7-1 overall. McBain 7-0 in the conference. Manton 5-0 in the conference. McBain their only loss was to TC St. Francis. That was a pretty tough game in TC St. Francis, which doesn't always help because their gym's pretty wild. There wasn't really much wild there. It'll be a rough game tonight. Scoring averages, McBain having a 59.8 scoring average, but with Manton having a 59.9 scoring average. So only 0.1 point. Only a tenth of a point difference in scoring averages. It'll be a good game tonight.
In the McBain-Manton game, every year is always tough because both teams just want to beat their opponent so bad. Both teams play good defense and even better offense. We'll see how it turns out tonight.
Rambler's starting lineup, 100% junior. The team is very junior heavy. They've got 5 seniors, and there's 14 guys on the team. So that's 9. There might even be 15. I think there's 15 guys. So that's 10 juniors.
And something odd to see, Big George Brown not in the starting lineup tonight. Hopefully he'll be used as a key factor off the bench. But we'll see Caden McGillis jumping for McBain.
Yeah, one thing that I thought that was odd. All season it's been like that. George hasn't been in the starting lineup at all this season. I mean, it's good for the young players, but sometimes you got to have that senior leadership in the starting lineup to get things going.
And McBain wins the tip. They'll start on offense first. They're moving the ball well to start this game. We'll see whose team is better tonight.
McGillis can't come up with the 3. Rebounded by Dan Rollingball. Rollingball gets hit, called for a charge.
That's a good take by Manton. It looked like Rollingball was going to score, but the ability to take the charge stopped McBain from having a chance, as we'll see Manton on offense for the first time tonight.
Yeah, just 1 year ago this game. Well, not this game. I mean, McBain versus Manton, not necessarily homecoming. Connor Murphy, deep 3 from behind the white volleyball line to win.
As we see, Manton misses a 3. Connor Murphy with the rebound, and he brings the ball up the floor. He is setting something up. He passes it to McElhenney on the wing. He swings it over to Rodenbaugh, who gives it down to McElhenney, and it will be a foul. McElhenney will be at the line.
This Ranger starting 5. 3/5 of the team is 3/5 of the starting 5 is seniors. Then we have a junior and a sophomore.
And we'll see if McBain can control the tempo like they tried in the girls' game just minutes before this game started. As McElhenney misses both free throws as the game remains tied at 0.
And that's something that you need to capitalize on is free throws. You got to get to the line and you got to make your free throws. Free throws wins ball games, and if you want to win, that's what you got to do. Murphy come flying down the court, couple dribble moves. Can't get the bucket to go. And Jacob Hahn gets the rebound, and the Rangers will take it the other way.
something we're already seeing is this is a defensive battle. It will be who can defend the best and get the buckets to fall. Is Rodenbaugh with another rebound. He has really gotten the hustle plays tonight, locking down the interior for McBain.
Yeah, this game is never about who's got the most points. It's who can defend the ball well enough to stop the opponent from getting points.
As we see, Manton forces a turnover, so we'll look to see if they can get the first points of the game on this offensive possession.
Caleb Moore brings ball up, gives it to Jacob Hahn at the free throw line, tries to go inside, goes to Isaac Radin. Manton can't get the ball inside. As I bite my tongue, Lucas McKernan goes inside, comes up empty, but
you see Murphy will set something up, gives it to McGillis, who loses possession but is able to get it back to the point guard.
Murphy drives inside, nothing.
It stays McBain's way.
Manton. Now, as a Rambler fan, it's good. As a non-biased spectator, Manton needs to watch where is the ball when it's about to go out of bounds, because who did it touch last? Because you don't want to mess up all that much.
As we see, man really pressuring
Murphy
the ball handler.
Kicks it out to McElhaney. McElhaney still can't hit the three. Foul called on Jacob Hahn.
As they'll send Rodenbaugh to the line, trying to get the first points of the game for either team.
As you can see, that Rambler student section over, well, you can't see it because the camera's pointed the wrong way, but you could probably hear it. Student section, they're present tonight, and they're gonna be fired up, hoping for a win from the Ramblers.
And there, the first point of the game. Rodenbaugh makes his second free throw, making it 1-0 as Manton brings the ball up the court.
That's something unusual to see Rodenbaugh miss a free throw. Off Manton, McBain ball.
One thing with this McBain student section is it is not just current students. Former students show up to homecoming game and they make sure it's loud. As McElhaney turns it over, Manton is in transition looking to score. That's McGillis with the good defense.
That's a good play by the Ramblers. Nice read by both Murphy and Rodenbaugh. See, where's the defense and where can I get it in to make the bucket?
And Manton is still scoreless, has not put up any points as they turn the ball over. It will be a jump ball. Stays with Manton. But McBain has really been tough on defense so far in this first quarter. Hopefully they can continue that throughout the game as Manton looks to inbound it. They'll turn it over again. Oh, the ball is loose. They'll swing it and he'll drive inside.
Caleb Moore comes up empty. That is at least a dozen trips down the floor. Coming up empty.
As we see, George Brown is checking into the game. He could be a big factor tonight, as Manton does not quite have the height George has.
Murphy slowing it down, getting something set up.
Rodenbaugh has ball at the top of the key.
McGillis drives inside, nothing. Rebound by Rodenbaugh, and Rodenbaugh gets the bucket, stretching the lead to a 5-point game. Manton still scoreless.
Rodenbaugh is one of those players who isn't the most skillful as Manton gets in the end one. He isn't the most skillful, but he plays hard and he gets those hustle points. He gets the rebound. He plays good defense, and he leads the team in everything, like as a leader. As George Brown checks into the game for Tristan McElhenney.
Foul's called on Mason Hooker, his first, team's second. Number 12, Cole Rigneris can't get the free throw.
As Murphy will bring the ball up the floor. Looking to set something up. George Brown will have the ball.
Hooker now on the top of the key to Murphy. McGillis drives inside. McGillis with the bucket.
A good contact finish there from McGillis. There were people in the way, and he drove through them and got to the hoop. As Manton looks to score, down 5 points.
And Caleb Moore just throws it away, trying to look for Rigneris. McBain will take the ball over.
Maybe a little bit of miscommunication between teammates there. Murphy will bring the ball up the floor. Running ball has it on the wing. Looking to set something up for McBain as Hooker drives. He's looking for the foul, but there is nothing there. Manton ball as it was tipped out by Hooker. Manton will bring the ball up with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
Manton only having 1 bucket, which is good defense for Ramblers. As ball go out of bounds, last touch by Connor Murphy.
We'll see McElhenney check back in. Hooker will come out. Maybe Manton will look to slow down the game a little bit, as McBain has benefited in transition.
It's Manton. Do you expect anything but fast-paced basketball? And maybe a little bit of extra things underneath the rug that they might pull out? Raiden in the corner. Drops it inside to Moore, kicks it to McKernan.
And he will throw it away. It'll be over and back, so McBain will take over on Manton's side of the floor with 1:40 left to go in the first quarter. Murphy will have the ball near midcourt.
If you've looked across the court, you can see that it is a packed house. There's almost no inch of space anywhere in this gym. And if there is, you're probably going to have to crawl over people to get there, because it's both homecoming and McBain versus Manton, and both of those nights are always very crowded.
As McGillis pump fakes and drives to the rim, he will not get it to go. Manton will get the rebound and bring it up the floor.
And you saw Isaac Raiden tried to force the charge, but one thing that a rule that's now been put in is if it looks obvious as a flop, it'll be no call, because the refs can say that it was a flop.
Yes,
Raiden, no shot. Murphy takes it up. McGillis down the middle for Rodenbaugh in the corner with the 3. And McBain hits double digits as the lead goes to 8.
That was a wonderful look by McGillis. Get the defender off his feet and pass it out to Rodenbaugh for the open 3. McBain is taking their chances.
Inside. Sorry. Moore drives down inside, backs out to Isaac Raiden.
There is 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Manton looking to hold for the last shot, maybe.
Rodenbaugh with the rebound goes flying down the court, gets inside,
and draws the foul. He will go to the line with 2 seconds left to go in the first quarter. That was smart thinking by Rodenbaugh. No clock awareness to just drive down the floor and get the foul before clock expires.
Fouls on Jacob Rupert. His first, team's third.
And the
Rodenbaugh makes the first free throw. Sorry, you go.
And Rodenbaugh makes a second one as well.
Now that's the type of trip that we would see from Rodenbaugh at the free throw line. As you can hear, the band has arrived. You probably heard them earlier. They're loud and they're proud to be here tonight. It's the only basketball game that they'll go to all season, but it's a good game to be at as they play McBain's fight song, and they should be proud to play it as well because it is homecoming night. And as we start off the last quarter of the first half, I know that sounds kind of contradicting, but it's the second quarter. McBain up 10, hit double-digit lead and double-digit total points.
Now the lead may be 10, but it is still a defensive battle. Neither team's giving anything. And McBain has just been able to capitalize on their opportunities a little bit more than Manton. They'll look to see if they can continue this run they're on.
Very low score game for the Ramblers. Normally they're looking at a 25 to 30 point game, 30 point total points for their team going into the second half, and then they're already at like 35 to 40 when they head into halftime. As
Manton knocks the ball away, but steps out of bounds with the ball, so Rodenbaugh will take it out.
Yeah, Caleb Moore thought he was in baseball. Thought he'd go sliding. Well, he wasn't safe because McBain got the ball. And Jacob Hahn on the line as he's trying to get the ball inbounds to one of his teammates. And they'll call McBain ball as Cole Rigneris checks back into the game.
McBain will take the ball out of bounds, and Manton will tip it away again. Manton playing very good defense in the second quarter.
McElhaney goes back to Connor Murphy. Murphy's going to try and set something up.
As Manton gets the steal.
Blocked by Rodenbaugh.
Manton is able to get the rebound to go back in as Murphy breaks the ball up the floor.
That's one thing that your defense can't do is you can't just go blown by a guy because then it's 4 on 5 and there's always going to be someone open. Mason Hooker with the deep three. That's something that's not unusual that we thought we would have seen in the first quarter. Mason Hooker, best three-point shooter on the varsity squad at Houghton Lake, did not miss a single three in the first half. And it took him till halfway through the fourth quarter to miss a three.
And Mason Hooker, only a junior, very bright future on varsity basketball for him. As Murphy looks to set something up with 6 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the second quarter.
Brown back to Murphy. Murphy curls over. Shot is short. I think it was deflected. It might have been deflected on that shot, but not sure on that call. Ref calls it Ranger basketball, so that's what we got to go with because kind of hard to question the refs when they're like right on the floor.
As Manton will look to set something up. McBain.
Raiden on top goes to number 11, Drayden Morrow.
Manton looks to set a play up.
Raiden drives inside but backs out, goes to Rigneris. Tries to get inside and he does. And Rigneris gets the bucket.
As McGillis will bring the ball up the floor. It is thrown a little too hard and it'll be turned over Manton ball.
That's something that the Rambler offense should have talked about in their huddle is don't turn over the ball. Because Manton's really good on capitalizing on turnovers and cutting that 10-point lead down to 2 or 3. As Caleb Moore hits a 3, dropping it down to a 6-point lead. Manton going on a roll as McBain's kind of in their slump, which that's what McBain kind of does is they strong first quarter, strong fourth quarter, second and third quarter, they just kind of slump down into this hole
as Rodenbaugh's shot does not
empty.
go.
On the line as he grabs the ball. McBain basketball.
Timeout Manton.
Timeout Manton, full timeout. McBain's got to capitalize on turnovers like Manton does, or else they're not going to get much out of this second quarter, as they need to have time.
Opportunity to win this game.
Yeah, 4:35 left in this first half. McBain only up 6, which isn't unusual for a McBain-Manton game, but it is unusual for McBain, for both teams actually. Both teams basically blowing out all the conference teams that they have played so far, being 7-1. Both teams have not lost a conference game yet. This is the deciding factor for the first place in the conference. Will it be McBain dropping to 7-1 in the conference, or will it be Manton going to 5-1 in the conference?
Yes, and it's been a very defensive battle so far, and I don't expect that to change. McBain and Manton have both struggled to put points up due to the great defense from both sides. As Manton will take the ball out of bounds after the jump ball. McBain only has a 6-point lead. Maybe look to get a turnover here and extend that a little bit. As Manton has the ball at the top of the key.
Yeah, McBain just needs to kind of relax on the floor, but don't be too relaxed that you can't do anything. McElhaney gets the rebound. Rodenbaugh now to Murphy.
Murphy will set something up, passes it to McElhaney. Runs some pick and roll. He had the open man, but did not get it to him.
Murphy for 3.
The 3 is good, but there is a foul down low against Rodenbaugh.
Fouls on Dan Rodenbaugh, his second, team's third. They do count the bucket, which I don't understand that, because you'd think the foul would offset the bucket because, who knows?
I believe because the ball was in the air, it was a loose ball foul. as the shot was already off, making it count. It was not in his hand. As Manton looks to set something up. McBain is playing tight defense so far. Murphy is guarding on ball. Looks like Manton has really tried to slow this game down and run some plays, not just be reckless with it.
Well, what Manton's trying to do is they're trying to control the game. And if they slow down the tempo and control the tempo and the clock, they'll control the game. And so that's what they're trying to do. But McBain's defense, they're trying to get something going, get something fire into Manton, and hope that they go. I know that fire is not the right word, but trying to get him to find some way to turn over the ball, find a way to get to not be control and just mess up.
In this last few minute stretch, it's really just been a turnover game. Both teams struggling to put the ball in the basket. As
Moore on the three.
The three
Moore
is
hits
good.
the three as it goes back to a 6-point game.
McElhenney has the ball on the wing, passes it to Rodenbaugh, maybe trying to run some pick and roll here. McBain needs a bucket to get the momentum back as Manton has scored on their last few possessions. And McBain needs to make sure they can't catch up. As Murphy takes a three, it is good.
Murphy with the three. And that's one thing that McBain kind of struggled with against Lake City on Wednesday early, was stretching that lead. It was always a 5-point game, but McBain couldn't go anywhere with that lead. As McBain forces Manton to call a timeout, it'll be a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back right after that. I took a drink out of it. I hope you're fine with my drinks.
As the teams take the floor after timeout with 1:49 seconds left to go in the second quarter, McBain has a 9-point lead and looking to capitalize as McBain does have the ball as Murphy brings it up the floor.
And Manton applying pressure, which isn't unusual. Murphy just kind of battles his way inside. And now a rebounding battle goes on as Hooker comes up with it.
And he
shoots
shoots
the
three.
Comes up empty.
One thing McBain and Manton have been doing is battling down low. Those bigs are pushing, pulling, and throwing elbows to get the rebound.
And that's expected on a McBain-Manton game. Is a very physical game. And a carry is called
on Manton.
On Manton, McBain basketball.
That is just an unforced turnover by Manton. Let's see if McBain can capitalize and score some points. McGillis has the ball at half court as he turns it over. Manton misses a shot. McGillis will bring the ball up the floor, looking to get some points as they have got to extend this lead before halftime as Murphy shoots a three, and it is good. That extends the lead to 12 points. Murphy with another three-pointer. He has really been carrying this offense tonight. Let's see if he can continue to do that as Manton has the ball on offense.
Murphy with 11 points as fouls called. Murphy and Hooker, two big names when you think of McBain three-point shooters. Those are the first two names that you should think of because they dominate the floor. They dominate that arc. They're up and down that arc. Any spot you could find, they'll drop it sometime in the game.
Murphy is very good because he can make his shots off the dribble. He can bring the ball up the floor and be able to shoot the three and make it, as we see Murphy bring the ball up the floor now.
Hooker grabbing that rebound, goes now to McGillis. McGillis kicks it to Murphy. Murphy drives inside.
And it is a
block
foul
called on, I believe the foul will be on Jacob Hunt. Yep, there it is. Ref calls it foul on Jacob Hunt, his second team's fourth.
And Murphy will be shooting 2 free throws, looking to extend this lead just before halftime as there only is 9.9 seconds left to go on the clock. As Murphy hits the first free throw.
McBain basically knowing nothing about Manton's season other than they're normally really good. They're normally really physical, and they'll always come to play because McBain has a target on their back. And coming out 13-point game with 9.9 seconds left in this first half.
As Murphy drills the second free throw, sending the lead to 14 as Manton brings the ball up the floor.
And
McElhenney
stolen
gets the
by
steal.
McElhenney. Murphy drives in. They'll call the travel on Murphy. That could be a questionable call. I thought he only took 2 steps, but when you're kind of falling down like that,
And
that's kind of what you got to expect.
And that is the first half. McBain goes into halftime with a 14-point lead, 26-12. It has been a very defensive battle as McBain only got on that run late in the second quarter. After halftime, we'll see if they can continue the run they're on.
McBain going into the locker room at halftime. Bruce Copeland's probably got to be thinking, all right, what have we done good? Let's keep it that way. What do we need to change? Let's not keep it that way. Let's change it and come out in the second half. And we'll leave you at that, 26-12 here at McBain High School. McBain versus Manton. We'll be back right after halftime.
Originally set the record in the 3,200-meter run as a freshman back in 1970 with a time of 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Each year after that, all the way until he was a senior, Ron set a new record each year, with his best time coming as a senior and which ultimately held the record in the 3,200-meter for 50 years. With a time of 9 minutes and 38 seconds. This has set the bar high for a lot of great young men in McBain who who have tried to beat it. However, they weren't the only ones who were coming after the record. When Al Cushion coached at McBain, it was his goal to have every record broken by the time he left. Ron's record was the only one that held up during that time. After high school, Ron went on to continue his running success at Ferris State University. His running career peaked in his late 30s, winning a lot of road races and also winning the Traverse City Marathon in 1992 with a time of 2 hours and 34 minutes. The current world record was set this year within 2 hours. Ron has trained and run with a lot of McBain boys, trying to help them to reach their goals. This is just another example of working hard and putting in the time to accomplish the goals that are set in front of him. This year, however, Keegan O'Malley broke the 50-year-old 3,200 meter record with a time of 9 minutes, 33 seconds. Only 5 seconds short of Ron's record. Congratulations to Mr. Ron Ensing for holding the longest standing record in McBain High School. Holding that record for 50 years and becoming a legend. Please continue to recognize John and congratulate him on this accomplishment. and support our fundraising efforts on February 8th at 7 p.m. as 12 amazing juniors and senior men compete for the title of Redwood Man. There will be a silent and live auction items as well, and an opportunity for you to use your dollars to vote for your favorite contestant. Come and bring your family out for a great night of entertainment and help support the fun and safe after prom for our kids.
and welcome back to McBain High School as we have the start of the second half of McBain versus Manton. McBain has 26 to Manton's 12. Manton will foul McBain on the first possession of the second half. It's been a close game all game as Connor Murphy takes the ball out of bounds for McBain. Murphy will look to set something up. He will pass it to McGillis. Will pass it out to Rodenbaugh for three. It is good. That makes the score 29 for McBain. Big shot by Rodenbaugh. That is a foul on McBain. That is Connor Murphy with the foul, sending Manton to the free throw line for 2 free throws. The first free throw is good for Manton, bumping their score up to 13 in the early part of this second half. The second free throw is good as McBain brings the ball up the floor. It is Connor Murphy at point guard. He's being pressured heavily by Manton. He will pass it to McElhenney, who will drive and lose the ball. It will be off McElhenney. Manton ball with 7 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in this third quarter as Manton brings the ball up the floor. They're currently trailing by 17, looking to put some points up as there is a foul and one. Manton is going to the free throw line for 1 foul after the made basket. The foul is on number 22, Caden McGillis. That is his first foul of the game. Seems to be some confusion.
Foul was called on number 22, White. His first, team number 2 for that.
And it seems they have figured out whatever was wrong as he lines up for the free throw. It is no good. Caden McGillis with the rebound. He outlets to Murphy, who passes up to Hooker. 4-3 is no good, but McGillis with the rebound. He spins, but his shot is no good. Manton will bring the ball up the floor. Manton will look to set something up. They will drive. They'll be out of bounds off Manton. McBain ball. As Murphy will bring the ball up the floor for McBain. Rodenbaugh will set the screen. The ball will be out of bounds on Manton. McBain ball under the hoop. They will inbound it to Rodenbaugh, who catches it and hands it off to Murphy. Murphy will drive, pass it cross court. Ball will be swung down to Rodenbaugh. Out to McElhenney for 3. It is good. That is another 3-pointer for McBain in this ball game, bumping McBain's score up to 32. Well, Manton only has 16. Manton matches McBain's 3. Murphy brings the ball up the floor.
Now this is one thing unusual to see, that McBain has a lead. Normally at the Manton McBain game, it's 2 3-point ball game all game long, and then someone excels at the end with a 4 or 5-point game win. But this is unusual.
McBain has really started off strong in the second half. as they cause another turnover. That is Hooker with the steal.
McElhaney tries for another. Nothing.
As Rodenbaugh fighting for the ball as Manton drives to the hoop. Their shot will be no good as McElhaney gets the rebound and outlets it to Murphy. He'll pass to McGillis, who looks to set something up. He'll pass down to Rodenbaugh. McBain looking to set up a play.
Rodenbaugh just dribbling up top. Now picks up his dribble. That's not something you want to do right at the top of the floor. Just pick up your dribble. Because now you barely have any options of shooting. The defense is going to gain up on passers. And a charge called. That one might be questionable. Murphy in the air when he hits.
That is the second foul on Murphy as Manton brings the ball up the floor. McBain has gotten out to a sizable lead here in this third quarter as Rodenbaugh gets a steal. He will slow it down. Get it down to McGillis, who gets the foul and will go to the free throw line. Manton has just seemed to not started well in the second half. Kind of lackadaisical as McBain is running circles around them on defense.
Yeah, McBain, they've been really strong this year. Coming slumps here and there in the second and third quarter. But right now it's looking like they're not going to have many slumps. But it is only the third quarter, and it's only halfway through. So there's still a quarter and a half of clock time basketball left.
As McGillis misses both free throws. There's a foul as Rodenbaugh is pushed to the floor.
Jacob Hahn looking for the ref to call a travel, pointing at Rodenbaugh's foot, saying it moved. Well, if you push him, yeah, the foot's gonna move.
Timeout, McBain.
Bruce Copeman not happy with what he's seeing, calls a timeout. 30-second timeout, just a quick run over of what the gameplay is, and then getting back onto the court, getting back into action, trying to keep the momentum going in their favor, try and control to their tempo.
One thing with Bruce Copeman, he is not afraid to use a timeout. If he does not like what he sees on the floor, he will call a timeout, maybe get some subs in, so what he sees on the floor is what he likes.
Yep, and he's been around for so long, he knows what he likes. So he's been I think he said it. This is his 30th year teaching at McBain. Well, 30 years ago, that was 2090.
2090.
2080 or 1980.
2080.
Wrong
Manton brings
wrong
the ball
century.
up the floor.
19
and one. Manton will go to the line for the extra free throw.
He would have been here since 1980, which that
1990.
something like that, yeah.
Simple math is very hard. As Manton goes to the line for the free throw, is good. Murphy will bring the ball up the floor as McBain leads by 12.
McElhaney cross court to McGillis, cross court again to Hooker,
who makes a one-handed grab.
Cross court again to no one around.
Miscommunication between teammates is something you do not want on your varsity basketball team, but it's something that happens and you just got to work through it.
That's a JV, maybe even a middle school mistake, but the varsity level, that's just not what you want to see.
McBain has the ball. That is McGillis with the points. Ref stops play to get the ball as Manton prepares to bring the ball up the floor. McBain is winning by 12 with 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Manton looking to maybe run some pick and roll, as McBain's defense has been very strong today. As Manton drives and is blocked by McElhenney, but no one gets the rebound, so Manton has the ball back. Manton looking to set something up, maybe slow the tempo down as Manton drives, kicks, and is swinging the ball. The layup is no good.
Murphy headed cross court up to Rodenbaugh, can't get it to go, and McKernan with the rebound. Moore flying down the court, pops a three. No.
As they once again are scrapping for the boards, putting their bodies on the line to get that rebound or get that loose ball. As Murphy outlets it to McElhenney, but it is stolen. Manton brings the ball up the floor. Maybe
Braden in the corner, tries to get out.
It is tipped by McElhenney. Both teams may be looking to slow the pace down, as it has been very fast and out of control, as there have been a lot of turnovers in the past few minutes. Manton inbounds the ball. They will look to set something up, as Connor Murphy is on ball defense. They'll swing it out to the left. They'll move it to the right wing. As they
Hahn
shoot a
for
three.
No. Foul called.
That is a questionable call, but that is the call the official make, and you just have to live with it. That is Caden McGillis' second foul. And McBain has been very careful with the fouls, not getting in foul trouble too much, which is something you like to see in a big game like this, as Manton is at the free throw line. The first one is good, bumping their score up to 25, down 11 with one more free throw to go.
Well, they've officially tied. Manton's officially tied with their JV girls squad. Oh, and they beat them. Well, we can now officially name the JV girls as the least scored team for the Manton's four teams, as Jacob Hahn makes that free throw to go 36-26, only down 10, which there's what a Manton McBain game would look like.
And they make all three free throws because it was a three-pointer.
Rodenbaugh, cross court to McElhaney.
As McBain has a bigger lineup in with George Brown, Daniel Rodenbaugh, and Mason Hooker all in at the same time. Maybe looking to get some boards as Murphy misses a three. Rodenbaugh with the rebound and makes the basket. That is a big play from Rodenbaugh to get the rebound and go up with it while heavily contested. Manton swings it to the corner. He will be blocked by George Brown. There was some contact, but no call. It is a travel against
Well, there was
McBain.
a call, just no foul. The call was a travel.
Manton will take the ball out of bounds with 1:04 left to go in the third quarter. Manton down by 11. Maybe looking to cut this lead in half, hopefully, with a few buckets stringed together. As they miss the three-pointer, Daniel Rodenbaugh with the rebound. Connor Murphy will bring the ball up the floor.
McGillis on the near side, brings it up to the top, goes to Brown on the far side.
And Brown for three. Something you don't see often, but you like to see when it happens.
Yeah, a big man shooting threes. It's not something you see every day other than Mason Hooker, but that's normal. No help side D from the Ramblers, giving Lucas McKernan a easy bucket. Jacob Hahn rips the ball out of Rodenbaugh's hands, but goes out of bounds on his way. Rambler basketball, and that's something you gotta do. You gotta hold on to the basketball. You can't let go no matter what. Well, you let go when the whistle blows, but that's about it.
As McBain takes the ball out of bounds, is Daniel Rodenbaugh. He passes it to Caden McGillis, who looks to drive.
Backs
back
out. Blocked by Raiden.
Tipped.
And Moore heads it the other way.
Manton will score in transition as the clock winds down. 4, 3, 2, 1, and Murphy shoots, no good. That's the end of the third quarter. McBain is winning 41-31.
10-point lead. They need to control. They need to control. This last quarter counts. So if you don't control clock, tempo, gameplay, the lead is gonna drop fast.
And Manton really came back there in that third quarter. They were down by quite a bit, but have caught back up to only 10, which is something for Manton you like to see. But McBain, you just gotta slow down the tempo, work the ball around, get some open shots, and play good defense, which is something McBain is good at.
McBain's capable of all these things. It's just putting them together in one game can sometimes be a challenge, even though it shouldn't be, because these are things that you learn first day that you step into any basketball. And you should, at varsity level, you should already know these things. Like just down on the left side of the court, no help came over on the gameplay, or no help came over when we went to go double team, and Lucas McKernan just got an easy bucket.
As McGillis has the ball at the top, there is a foul against Manton. McBain will have the ball out of bounds. It's been a very physical game. Both teams scrapping for the ball, trying to take advantage any way they can. Connor Murphy will drive. He will lose the ball. Manton will be in transition.
Moore at the top of the key.
As they're scrapping for the ball, Manton comes out with it. They will set something up at the top of the key. This is Caden McGillis on ball defense. They will look to drive, and it will be good. Manton has been on a roll recently, catching up to just 5 as McBain uses a timeout to try and stop this Manton momentum.
Timeout McBain, full timeout. Manton has kind of pushed McBain into a little bit of uncomfort this beginning of the fourth quarter. And that's something that you need to overcome as a McBain offense. You need to chill down. You need to chill out, just relax, and play basketball as it should be played.
As there is the first whistle, both teams preparing to take the field, preparing to take the court after the timeout in this fourth quarter. The score is McBain 41, Manton 36. McBain does have the ball, looking to stop this Manton comeback and put some distance between the two teams. As Caden McGillis takes the ball out.
McGillis gets the ball back as Hooker stumbles with it. Drives inside, pulls up. No, Mason Hooker though with the rebound. Foul called, and that's going to be Manton basketball.
That is Mason Hooker's third foul.
Which, early fourth quarter, that's not so bad having your third foul. But if you rack them up quick, you're gonna be out of the game. You're gonna be fouled out of the game with a good 5 minutes left, depending on how quickly you rack them up.
But if you're McBain, you have to be careful.
Travel called on Raiden.
You have to be careful not to get Manton into the bonus where so every foul they shoot free throws as Murphy is pressured with the defense. Rodenbaugh looks out to Hooker.
Hooker can't hit it. George with the rebound. McElhaney drives in. And it'll be Ranger basketball.
As there seems to be some frustrated players out there, but game plays on as Manton brings the ball up the floor. McBain needs to stop this Manton team as they have got the momentum as they kick it out to the corner for three. Is no good. Air ball as Connor Murphy brings it up the floor. As Mason Hooker with the drive. He will bring it back out.
Drives inside, kicks it to Rodenbaugh.
No good, but George Brown with the rebound.
And that's why you need someone on that backside for plays like that. You get a rebound. They say it's off Dan Rodenbaugh. Manton basketball, and we can't see it up here, so that's just what we have to go with.
Manton brings the ball up the floor. Both teams have gone scoreless in the past few minutes. As Manton turns it over, miscommunication between the point guard and the wing. As McBain will look to capitalize on this Manton mistake. Manton continues to try and trap at half court as Connor Murphy brings the ball up. McGillis will have the ball at the top of the key. Still has his dribble.
Now he doesn't.
McElhaney will have the ball at the top, looking to set something up. He'll pass it to Rodenbaugh, who gives it to McGillis and drives.
And they called the travel on McGillis. Rambler basketball.
McBain, both teams really need to slow it down. This fast pace is just causing turnovers for both teams as Manton crosses half court. Still down 5 as they have not scored yet. The shot is no good. Caden McGillis with the rebound. Connor Murphy will bring the ball up. As here you'll see the McBain crowd is getting into it, trying to throw this Manton team off. As Rodenbaugh will have the ball at the top of the key. He will give it to McGillis, who drives, loses ball. It will be a jump ball.
Jump ball, it will go to Manton.
As Mason Hooker checks back in. Had a break and hopefully he's fresh, ready to play. As McBain is only up 5 as Manton has the ball with 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter.
And Bruce Copeman only subbing 6 guys.
As George Brown will drive down the floor, is sight to see. And it is
they call a block.
It took 2 guys to take a charge from George Brown and neither of them got it. As George Brown will go to the line to shoot free throws.
And that's a good call. Well, it's kind of a good call for the ref, because if this was a college level or even pros, they would have been inside that circle where it's an automatic block no matter if you have your feet set or not.
And George Brown hits the first free throw. A big man that can really do it all. He can shoot it, as we've seen. He can make his free throws. And he is a dominant center down low as he makes his second free throw, extending the McBain lead to 7 as Manton has the ball with 4 minutes left. Manton's shot will be no good as George Brown gets the rebound. Murphy will drive up the floor. McBain looking to capitalize on the Manton missed shot. Hooker will have the ball at the top of the key. He will drive. It will be a foul on the shot. He will shoot free throws. That is
fouls on Lucas McKernan, his third, team 6th. Fouls that tonight have been pretty even, 6-6.
This McBain team has done a good job recently as Hooker hits the free throw of drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line, which are just easy free points.
It seems like McBain has been to the free throw line more times. Even though fouls are even, things could happen where there are more shooting fouls than regular fouls.
As Manton has the ball at the top of the key.
Raiden.
They will drive
Drives
and
in, kicks it to Rigneris.
No good.
Over just a bit.
As Murphy will bring the ball up the floor. Maybe looking to slow it down as McGillis has it on the wing. He'll pass it up to Hooker. The ball is tipped.
Tipped, goes to Brown.
As we see, Rodenball is checking back into the game. A key player for McBain. Good to see him back out there. Connor Murphy loses it.
Takes the steal and the easy bucket.
It'll be timeout Manton with 2 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. McBain leads by 6. This has been a tough fourth quarter for both teams as they've both gone on runs and both missed some shots, but hopefully as the clock runs down, they can make their shots and play good defense.
As you can see over across the court, well, kind of see, is the Rambler student section has started singing an old-time song, "We Will Rock You," trying to pump up this Rambler team, get something going so that they can keep this 6-point lead and maybe even increase it. Keep this game going, stay undefeated in the conference with only 1 loss total.
And that student crowd, the student section will do anything to hype up their team and distract the other team as they are currently singing West Virginia. An oldie but a goodie as McBain brings the ball up the floor. It's Tristan McElhenney getting trapped as McMahon takes the ball and shoots a 3. It is good.
Lucky bounce on that play. Murphy to George Brown, kicks it to Hooker in the corner, drives baseline.
As George Brown will get the putback.
That senior leadership. Hooker can't get a bucket on the play. Brown comes up with the bucket, and Manton throws the ball away. Rambler basketball. 2:23 left.
McBain up by 5. McBain looking to capitalize with their making the shots that they take or getting the rebounds if they do miss, as Caden McGillis will get the inbounds and give it to Rodenball, who drives. He'll slow it down, getting it to a guard.
Yeah, McBain, one thing that they're doing is they're trying to run the offense, kind of take some time off of the clock, not take clock off of the time.
As a travel is called on Caden McGillis, Manton will take over after the McBain turnover with just over 2 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter, as Manton is down by 5. maybe they'll look to get some points on the board to get back in this. As Manton will have the ball on the wing.
So both teams got above 40 points. And when I was young, I thought that meant that was a 40-point game. So when they say 40-point game is a running clock, if both teams are in the 40s, then the clock should run, right?
No.
No. It should
has
not.
The ball at the top of the key. As Rodenbaugh out wide with it. McBain running plays, try and get some open shots. As George Brown will not take a three, pass it down to Murphy, who draws the foul and will go to the free throw line for 2 free throws.
One thing that McBain hasn't been able to do is, even with the fouls, make the bucket. They haven't been able to get the and one conversion, or get the and one to convert.
As Murphy misses his first free throw. Free throws are something you've got to have.
And that's unusual for Murphy to miss free throws.
As he prepares for the second one. It is in. Timeout McBain, as they are up by 4 points with a minute left to go in this fourth quarter. It's nobody's game right now.
And
if one team gets on a run, they can capitalize and take the lead.
And we'll be right back after this timeout. And there it is as we come back. A good old student section war, which it's not uncommon to see at this type of a game.
As Manton will take the ball out of bounds. A minute 15 left to go in this fourth quarter as Manton is down by 4, 47-43, as they have the ball at the top of the key. They'll look to set a play up. They'll drive. It is good. Murphy will bring the ball up the floor. Passing it over to McGillis.
McGillis takes it up top, goes to Rodenbaugh on the far side. Rodenbaugh goes to the near side, loses control, gets it back.
There's another timeout used by McBain. They appeared to be trapped, so Bruce Coleman called timeout to settle the players down with 45 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. McBain is up by 2 and they have ball.
And this was about the score. This was about the same score as as a year ago. McBain Manton. Score was 48-45. Connor Murphy, long bombs, just kind of throws the ball up and it drops in, and no one around expecting it at all.
As the teams prepare to take the floor after this timeout. Now one key thing, McBain is already in the bonus, so if Manton does foul, McBain is shooting at least 1-1 at the current moment, which is important if Manton is trying to stop the clock. As the teams take the floor with 45 seconds left to go in the fourth. McBain does have ball at side of the court. Daniel Rodenbaugh will take it out. He will inbound it to Caden McGillis. It will be off Manton. McBain will remain in possession of ball with 44 seconds left to go. He will inbound it to Mason Hooker, who snags it over the defender. They're looking to just
Hooker
run some clock
just kind of
out
spinning.
as McGillis passes it to Murphy with 30 seconds left. McBain does have lead as a foul. That will send George Brown to the line for a 1-and-1. These are important free throws when you're only winning by 2. As there's some late substitutions being made as George prepares for the free throw. And it is good.
Jacob Hahn checking in for the Ramblers. A late check-in for the senior.
As George Brown lines up for the second free throw. And it is good, making the lead 4 points as Bruce Copeman uses a timeout. McBain is up by 4 points with 30 seconds left to go. I would assume Coach Copeman is just looking to make sure the defense is ready for what's about to come at them, as Manton needs points in little amount of time.
Timeout McBain, full timeout. Bruce Copeman going into this huddle. Don't think, if I did counting right, which counting's not very hard, he doesn't have any timeouts left. So it's a do or die moment. And
one thing about Bruce Coleman, though, he knows what he's doing, so if he used a timeout, I strongly believe it was an important timeout to use. As the teams take the floor, Manton will have the ball, down 4 points.
2 possession game. Even if Manton had a 3, they'd still not come out dubs. They need 2 possessions. And right now, all McBain has to do is play keep away from Manton. But Manton starts with the ball coming out of this timeout.
As Manton brings the ball up the floor. George Brown has switched out to the ball handler as they drive.
Raiden with the layup.
Timeout Manton.
Timeout Manton, 30-second timeout. McBain, not a great start to come out of the timeout. Now Manton down 2, 1 possession game. McBain will have the ball, but Manton needs to stop the ball to get the 2 points to tie it up or the 3 to win.
One thing McBain cannot do is turn it over. You know Manton will be going for the steal, and if McBain gets the ball, they will foul. So you have to make sure you have the people you trust at the free throw line the most out there on the floor. As the teams take the floor, 17.5 seconds left to go in the fourth. McBain leads by 2. They're in the bonus, which means if they get fouled, they are shooting 1-and-1 automatically. Connor Murphy lines up to take the ball out of bounds. And he inbounds it to Rodenbaugh, who is fouled immediately. 16 seconds left to go on the clock. Rodenbaugh will go to the line. Important free throws here, but Daniel Rodenbaugh is a good, calm, level-headed player. Hopefully he can drill these free throws and help McBain keep the lead as they line up for the first free throw. And it is good. That makes it a 3-point game with 1 free throw left. If Rodenbaugh can hit this, Manton cannot tie it up in 1 score. As he misses it, but George Brown knocks it away. Manton's got the ball, down 3, 12 seconds left to go. Timeout Manton. 6.7 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. Manton is down by 3, desperately need to score or they will go home as not winners.
30-second timeout, Manton.
You have to believe that Manton's coach will be drawing up the play for his best shooter, and McBain's got to be ready for that.
Yeah, Ryan Hiller, he's another one of those big names that you would know if you heard McBain Manton. With McBain, you've got Bruce Copeman. With Manton, you've got Ryan Hiller. Both coaches very capable of doing mad things. Copeman knowing what Hiller probably is going to do. Hiller probably knowing what Copeman's going to do on defense.
As Manton takes the ball out of bounds, the seconds has begun, and Manton's got the ball. 3, 2 for 3, no good.
And McBain wins.
McBain has won on homecoming day. They have beaten Manton 50-47 in a thriller. That was a game for the ages. Came down to the last few seconds, and Manton wasn't able to make the shot. As McBain are victors here at home.
Final score 50-47. McBain coming out on top. McBain taking number 1 in the conference as they move on to 8-0 in conference play, 8-1 in overall. Manton dropping to 5-1 in conference, 9-2 in overall. Well, it was a well-fought game.
This was a key win for McBain as they have secured the number 1 seed as of now for the conference. McBain Manton is always a tough game, and McBain has come out on top once again.
But as we know, McBain still has to go at Manton on the road later in the season. That's always a tough game. It's at Manton. It's loud. It's hot. It's a awful environment for an away team to walk in and play. But as we've seen before, McBain has come out on top once. McBain can come out on top again. Up next, the homecoming court presentation. But as for us, I'd like to thank you for joining us. I'm Tucker Vanderveld. And
I'm Kyle Culp.
Behind the mic, Cole Engelwright behind the camera and computer. Aaliyah Kitson behind the camera as well. Thank you, and good night.